Hello, everyone. I want to talk about the dynamics in relationships when not only when you go through a divorce, but then subsequent parental estrangement, etc. So it's kind of like a double whammy in and of itself. The first time I remember going through dynamics in family relationships was when my parents got divorced. And then we had separate parties. We'd go to this grandparent or that grandparent, and how everyone's reaction towards my dad changed or my mom changed, etc. So the one thing I have to say is a really good example of this is in the movie The Four Seasons with Alan Alda back in 1981. It's an excellent movie, and there's a spin-off series of it now in which Alan Alda appears. It's kind of fascinating. But it's how one of the couples, there's four couples that get together. One couple has been divorced, and then I think the guy, one of the husbands, is now bringing his girlfriend on the trip, the couple's trip, and it's the inner workings of how everybody now has to adjust. And so when we go through a divorce, there's a dynamic and change in the relationship. When we break apart from our ex in-laws and this and that, and now friends have to align, and this, yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing. If you've been through it, you understand. Or you've had friends that have gotten divorced, or you and your husband were really good friends with the couple, and now the husband is good friends with that husband, and you're good friends with the wife, and what are you gonna do? So then moving on to when we go through parental estrangement, and you're dealing with now where you have been friends with your kids, with the other parents of your children's friends, and now you're kind of going through the, well, what do I do? Now who do I align with? Who are my friends, and who's sticking around and who's parting ways? Because the one thing that happens when you get a divorce, your ex might say things about you to the other couples, and they might align with them. So now you're dealing with your kids. If you've had lifelong parental relationships through their friends, all of a sudden your kids might go say something really terrible about you, and the other parents might disconnect because they might believe your son or daughter. So what the heck do you do? So it's a double-edged sword. Because you can't plead your case if your kids are going around, especially with social media. Can you imagine your kids posting on social media or starting a different group to say, "Oh, my mom is terrible," and that you don't even know about the subgroups on Facebook. What do you do? Well, I think when you go through that, first and foremost, you got to get your bearings about you, and you have to kind of heal from it. You have to reel, and then you have to bring it back in. So it's kind of like fishing. And all of a sudden, you'll start to see that certain people will pull back, even people you thought were your good friends, or that you were close. Like if you were close to a sibling, and now all of a sudden they're aligning with your son or daughter, and you're thinking, "Oh my goodness, I'm truly on this island by myself." So let's say you were dumped on an island by yourself, or you're like Tom Hanks in the movie Castaway, and you have to survive. You have to look around your your immediate space, and you say, what do I need to to continue to want to even get out of bed? Well, first and foremost, you have to take care of yourself, whether you want to or not. And second, you have to just sit back and wait. Um, People that truly care about you, that know you, will reach out. If they hear about it through their son or daughter, they're going to reach out and say, "Hey, I'm here if you need to talk." And those are the people you really have to reach out to. And you don't really have to say much. You could say, "Well, my kid decided to cut ties and they're out in this world," and try to avoid saying anything negative, because eventually, if those people turn away from you and turn towards your kids, they may take everything you've said and tell your son or daughter, "Hey, your mom mentioned this, or she talked about this, or she won't let this go." So initially, just have your tribe, the people that you're closest to, the people that you've been friends with before you had kids, turn to them first. And then work your way up. But really, you don't have to say anything. even if they bash you, people that know you will believe in you and support you and be by your side. And you don't want to be a broken record anyways, because everyone's got their own thing that they are going through. So anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about today. um, I hope this helps, because I've been there, and I have stories about what I've been through. But anyways, that's all I've got, and I will be back.